When it comes to OLEDs, Sony versus LG has been a hotly debated topic for the last few years, and it looks like 2019 is not going to be any different. Hi, I'm Carl with Apt, and in this video we're going to show you a couple of TVs that I think should be on everyone's best of list for this year. The Sony A9G and the LG C9P. First things first, I want to address the most common theme that I see in the comments section on these OLED comparisons. LG's better because the panels in each TV come from LG. Well, it's true that they're both LG panels, but that's not necessarily the reason why the C9P would be better. It's the processors that really make the difference. Sony uses their X1 Ultimate and LG uses their Alpha 9 Gen 2, and each is the current flagship processors for those respective companies. Plus, there's other little things that you might prefer on one that don't have anything to do with the picture. Now, let's take a closer look at these two TVs side by side. Right out of the box, you're going to see a pretty obvious difference, and that's in the brightness. The LG's quite a bit brighter. I tried raising the Sony's brightness as high as it could go, and it wasn't getting anywhere near the LG's, but that's not to say that brighter is always better. Here's some shots of them both in their vivid, standard, and cinema modes, all at the factory calibrations, so you can hopefully see what I'm talking about. All that being said, I do like the brightness of the LG, but I'm curious to see if it'll have any adverse effect on the TVs in the long run. When you lower the LG's brightness to the level of the Sony's, it starts getting more difficult to tell the pictures apart. The Sony's colors are a little flatter and honestly more natural looking. The LG tends to be a little on the sharper side and looks a bit more vivid even at the same brightness. It's hard to show off these somewhat minor differences in a video though, since not everyone's watching this on the same type of monitor, and there's going to be some compression happening through YouTube as well. Now, when you go to the other end of things and look at some dark scenes, they're both, as you can imagine, extremely good. I didn't find the blacks to be getting crushed like on some past models, and they were each showing off nice details. And here's a shot showing off the black uniformity as well. As far as motion goes, they both did a great job handling fast and slow moving objects on the screen. Plus, you can also change the blur and judder settings to your liking depending on what you're watching. One advantage I found with the Sony though is you get an auto mode where on the LG you have to select smooth or clear or do the manual adjustments. I like the fact that there's less to think about with the Sony as far as motion goes. I honestly think though, if you were looking at each of these TVs by themselves, you'd have a hard time finding any flaws with the pictures. They're that good. When you put them right next to each other, that's when you start noticing some of those smaller discrepancies. The bigger differences to note are in the other features. For example, LG has a big advantage when it comes to inputs. Their HDMIs are 2.1, where the Sony's are 2.0. They do both have eARC capabilities, but the LG's also going to give you variable refresh rate at 1080p or 4K from 40 to 120 Hz, and auto low latency mode, which are great benefits for anyone using their TV for gaming, specifically with a PC or Xbox One X or S. The operating systems are another component to consider. Although Sony's made a much needed improvement by including Android Oreo on the A9G, WebOS, which comes with the C9P, at least in my opinion, is much better. As you highlight different cards along the bottom, you'll see relevant information regarding that app pop up right above it. For example, when we highlight Netflix, you'll see recently watched shows that you can jump right into without having to open the whole app again. The Sony still offers a good experience, much better in fact than their previous operating system. It's just spread out over a larger screen that covers the picture. The LG Smart Menu lets you keep watching a program while you're searching. Where does that leave us? I'd have to say that even though the LG's picture was brighter when they were next to each other, I actually like the Sony's colors better. However, with LG getting HDMI 2.1 and all the features that come along with it, plus, in my opinion, the better operating system, if I were getting one for myself, I'd go with the C9. Which one would you pick? Make sure to let us know down in the comments. As always, we appreciate you taking the time to watch our video. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe and check out our other comparison videos as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.